All right. JavaScript made simple. Liberty, equality, identity. All right, thank you. Yes, very good. So I am Dead Program on Twitter, aka Ron Evans in the real world. I work at Hybrid Group. We're a software development company based here in Los Angeles. We just announced last weekend a brand new Ruby-based robotics framework that offers multiple platforms and hardware at the same time with very high concurrency. Yes, Ruby. And we're also the creators of Kids Ruby, the award-winning Kids Ruby, I might add, which, true story, if you go and you take a look at Kids Ruby, you'll notice this really weird thing about it, which is it's actually over 96% JavaScript. Anyway, moving on. So this is JavaScript made simple. And there's a problem I have noticed out in the world, which is we all know too much. And people who don't know as much as we do will show up at our ultra cool meetups and they'll leave either frightened or confused, or some of them will hang with it and keep coming back over and over. But I thought, what a great idea if we could mix the super ultra techno elite along with like normal folks who are smart and just want to learn programming. So if we did a short section at each of these meetups, in this case, JavaScript made simple, showing some simple aspect of JavaScript. So this is intended to be one in the series. Ideally, somebody else here in the community will say, wow, Dead Program, great idea. I want to talk about some other aspect of JavaScript too. So please, let's keep this going. All right, so let's get started with liberty. Liberty, give me liberty. All right, so I'm going to bring up my favorite IDE, Google Chrome. And for JavaScript, it's hard to beat the browser, right? Hey, JavaScript. So we can actually type stuff in. Can you see this okay? Let's boost the font a little. All right, so we can type stuff in. Hello. Right, into the browser. And so we see the results. So hey, it's a command line to JavaScript. All right, you probably knew you could do this, but maybe other people don't. All right, so identity. So we can assign things. We could say that something is true. Right? All right, wow, we're really certain of that. Something is true. All right, so let's keep going with this. Whereas I'm pretty certain that something else is false. All right, so I'm pretty certain of this. Let's see if JavaScript agrees with me in my assessment of truth and falsehood. So let's see if something is true. Okay, what a relief. My worldview has not yet been disturbed. Not yet. Something else is false. All is well with the universe. Okay, well, so this is not that interesting, though, because it just means we can define that we have the liberty to say this thing is something. Whatever it is, it's what we say. Good. This is great. We got to start somewhere. But what about equality? What good is liberty without equality? We need some way to have equivalence. We need some way to be able to measure whether things are actually the same. Oh, okay. So let's see. Let's see if something is equal to something else. All right. Now, this should not be true, right? False, or true should not be the same as false, right? Which is false. Okay, so far all is well. Well, there's this funny thing about false, right? There's this funny thing about false. Let's see what we can learn about false. False, in this case, we say if false equal to 0. Hey, false is equal to 0. Whoa, that's kind of weird. All right, well, let's keep going. All right, so there's this other thing that is also supposed to be falsy, right? In JavaScript, we have this concept of things being truthy or falsy. Let's start with falsiness, right? Because there's so much more false in the world than true, right? Or is that true? Maybe things are just the opposite. Oh, paradox. We've just begun in our search of the paradox. All right, so let's say that our console here, again, our handy-dandy console, and let's see if our log, let's see if undefined, which is something which is also supposed to be false, right? Let's see if undefined is false. wait, I thought it was false, and yet it is not false. That means it is true. Wait, what? Hold on, which one is it? Oh, paradox. Well, there's this crazy thing that we can do to be absolutely certain of something in JavaScript. And you see, I am dead program. I told you that before, right? But what if I'm not sure? Well, if I am not dead program, then we know for sure I am not dead program. But how can we be certain if I am? Well, what if I am not dead program? Well, then I must be really for sure absolutely that dead program guy. Well, strangely enough, in JavaScript, we have this same idea. Let's go back to our friend of something. And let's say not something is true, right? Because we knew that something was true. And if we say if not something is true, then we're absolutely certain of its truthiness now. Whereas not something else, that should be false, right? Hey, okay, now we've found a way to be a little more certain about reality. We're much closer to. So we're a little confused. Wait, I thought you said there was equality. Don't we have some basis for the world? What about numbers, right? What about numbers? So if we say numbers, for example, we could say that, for example, 0.25 is going to be equal to, let's say, 0.025 with some decimal places, right? That's got to be true. Okay. Man, I was worried. I mean, if you're saying numbers aren't even true, we have nothing to be based on, right? Okay, well, you know, that sounds pretty good. But what if we are starting to get into this world where 1/3 is not actually 0.33? Well, hold on a second. How do I figure that out? I thought 1/3 was 0.33. Numbers are suddenly losing their truthiness now, right? Well, there's ways to get around this just by taking that number and turning it into something that's relatively ugly. We could say, I believe it is math.round. Math.round. And we round this number times 100 divided by 100. And we have to do the same thing over here, right? We say math.round that number again because, wow, we just discovered that not everything is all equal. This is kind of terrible, isn't it? What do we do about it? And we multiply that by 100 divided by 100 so that we can get everything equivalent. And then we need to close that up. And yes, at last, we've got the numbers to be indeed equal. So now we've got liberty and equality. But, you know, what about that identity thing? Well, identity is what the triple equals is all about. Triple equals is when we want to be absolutely certain that these things are not just some kind of false equivalence like we just saw a few minutes ago. Haha, false equivalence. No, in fact, when they are actually exactly the same thing, which you'll have to believe me on because we're out of time. So, in short, if we go back to our original idea, JavaScript made simple. I am dead program. Please contribute the next one. Thank you.